I'm your host, Max LaZebnik. Today, I'm going to rank my top 10 rides at Universal Studios Hollywood from worst to best. I remember Universal Studios as a teenager in 2005, and it's amazing how much the park has grown and evolved in the last 10 to 15 years ever since. Now let's go ahead and rank those rides.
#10. Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem. Something has to be at the number 10 spot, and for me, that is Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem. This ride is more of a movie than an actual ride. While it is a motion simulator ride, the simulator is very light and doesn't have a lot of movement. It's easy to tell you are watching a movie and the screen is not curved enough to fully immerse you. Universal took out the 3D, which made this ride better and more immersive to begin with. The best part about this ride is the outside facade and its surrounding Minion Way theming. I actually enjoy the theming in the queue way better than the actual ride, but even the queue pales in quality in comparison to newer rides at the park. My favorite thing about Despicable Me is the disco party once you exit the ride. I only do this ride once in a while if the park isn't too crowded and there isn't too much of a line. Normally I skip this one. The first Despicable Me film is clearly better than this ride. 9. Flight of the Hippogriff. Unlike Minion Mayhem, Flight of the Hippogriff is an actual junior coaster, has a buckbeak animatronic, and a wholly immersive queue. While it's only a minute long, it's a soothing thrill that is both thrilling and relaxing at the same time. You also get some very nice views of the nearby Hogwarts and Hogsmeade Village. This is a fun, underrated ride, but still not a must-do on my list. 8. The Simpsons Ride. Of all the rides at Universal Studios, I have a very direct connection with the Simpsons Ride. It's a fun simulator ride, and I still enjoy this ride more than Minion Mayhem. You actually feel like you're on a simulator ride on this one. I still think the former Back to the Future ride it replaced was better. I'm not a fan of the ride's animation and prefer the animation in the ride's queue. Unlike newer rides, there are many outdoor switchbacks, and the queue is largely unthemed. You're mostly just walking through a repainted, rethemed Back to the Future building. And then you're riding a rethemed Back to the Future ride. I now like the Springfield restaurants more than the ride itself. The paint is now peeling and the signs in the ride's queue are outdated and were made well before Disney bought out the rights to what is now 20th Century Studios. Universal's contract for the Simpsons attractions in the US is supposed to end in 2028, and we'll see if Disney builds Simpsons attractions of their own. 7. Transformers The Ride 3D. Now we have our first dark ride. This is not a bad ride by any means, and it's enjoyable, but there aren't many practical sets. This ride is largely screen-based and in 3D. Unlike on Studio Tour experiences, the 3D actually works and blends with some minimal practical sets next to it. There are no animatronics on this ride, and the ride itself lacks in theming. It's not fun wearing 3D glasses with the mask on, only for the glasses to fog up and not see the 3D properly. The vehicles themselves are pretty cool. They turn 360 degrees, move forward, motion simulate, and go up and down on elevators. There's one scene where you get hit by Megatron's fire blast and you feel the heat from the explosion. Overall, it's fun and enjoyable, but I would only wait in a single rider line for this ride. I wouldn't mind skipping this, but if I've done most other rides and the park isn't too crowded, I'll do Transformers. There are better rides at the park, but this is still fun. 6. Revenge of the Mummy, The Ride. Revenge of the Mummy has seen better days and is now the second oldest ride at the park that hasn't been replaced or rethemed, just behind the Studio Tour. I remember when this ride first opened in 2004 and really loving it. Don't get me wrong, I still really enjoy the Mummy to this day, but several newer, better rides have opened since. The Mummy's theming is decent, but outdated when in comparison to newer rides that have opened at the park and even the updated Studio Tour. I definitely enjoy the dark ride portion of the ride before you speed up to 45 miles per hour. But of course the fun of it is speeding up to 45 miles per hour and then riding backwards 45 miles per hour. The ending of the ride is pretty weak and was better when the ride first opened. I have mixed feelings about the possibility of the Mummy being rethemed or even replaced, but feel it at least needs an update. Revenge of the Mummy is still a very fun, thrilling ride, and a wonderful way to have a Universal classic monster in the park all year round. 5. Secret Life of Pets, Off the Leash. Yes, you heard me right. I'm putting Secret Life of Pets above Revenge of the Mummy. The Secret Life of Pets isn't the slightest bit thrilling, but the ride is phenomenal. It really beats the classic dark rides at Disneyland. It's a fantastic, slow-moving dark ride filled with high-budget practical sets and many animatronics that defy Disney in quality. The queue for the ride alone is one of the very best in the park. You really feel like you're walking through apartments in New York, complete with animatronic pets. The ride itself has fantastic sets and fun animatronic gags. I also like the AI technology used to turn us into pets, and the way they incorporated it within the ride's elaborate sets. What's even more amazing to me is that this incredible dark ride didn't replace an existing attraction, but they very tightly shoehorned it into the old Globe Theater space. I simply cannot give this ride enough praise. It's far superior to Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem across from it, but there are more fun, thrilling rides to do in the park. 4. Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. Of any ride at Universal Studios Hollywood, Mario Kart has the very best practical sets and animatronics. Videos truly do not do Mario Kart any justice. I wasn't the biggest fan of most interactive rides to begin with, but Mario Kart was a very pleasant surprise. I don't exactly like wearing headsets or glasses on rides, but the augmented reality technology works a lot better than I would have ever expected. I had such a good time shooting Koopa shells at opponents on the ride. It really feels like you aren't simply playing Mario Kart, but you are actually competing in it. I was blown away by how well the AR works with the practical sets and projections. But riding the ride without the visors is also a fun and more comfortable experience. It didn't occur to me after riding more than once that the ride actually has 2 tracks side by side. So ultimately, you get a different ride experience each time. I also really love how after you get hit by an opponent's item, the cars spin around just like in the game. It would have been nice if this were a more thrilling, trackless dark ride as opposed to a slow-moving attraction. But some scenes truly give you the illusion of speed to make you feel like you're going faster. Mario Kart is so addictive and has a lot of rewritability. 3. The Studio Tour. You simply can't visit Universal Studios Hollywood without a ride on its world-famous Studio Tour. It's the heart of the park, which was built around it. The best part of the Studio Tour is that you ride through the actual Universal Studios lot and ride through actual film sets. And there are ride experiences too. However, the Studio Tour has changed a lot in its nearly 60 years of existence. Some for the better, and others for the worse. I would rank this ride up higher if it weren't for some recent changes. There are sets that have been there for a long time and still shine brightly, including Jaws, the Earthquake, the Flash Flood, the Psycho House, and Bates Motel. There are also some great newer additions, including Nope, which brings some more fun, year-round horror suspense to the ride. Where the Studio Tour suffers, however, is its 2 3D experiences, King Kong 360 3D and Fast and Furious Supercharged. Regardless, the Studio Tour is still a must-do as you get to see real sets and real props, including famous cars from films. But it would be better if they could find practical ride experience replacements for the 3D experiences. 2. Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. The best fully enclosed dark ride is Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. You were literally walking into Hogwarts Castle. The ride alone is only part of the experience, but its massive Hogwarts facade and castle walkthrough in the queue also set up the ride's story. The ride uses the Kuka arm robocoaster technology to successfully simulate flying, but also tilt side to side, backwards, and forwards. This ride is just as thrilling as it is immersive, and is a prominent example where the ride system really plays a major part in the ride's story. It is also the perfect mix of screens and practical sets. The screens on this ride truly feel like you're flying with Harry, Ron, and Hermione. The practical animatronic sets on this ride are absolutely incredible and pull you into Harry Potter's adventures even more. The queue on this ride is an attraction in its own right, and just as incredible as the ride itself. You really feel like you're walking through the actual Hogwarts castle like in the films. Hogwarts becomes yet another attraction at night when the Hogwarts castle gets beautiful projection mapping shows, which change seasonally. Hogwarts is a big crown jewel at any Universal Studios park, and Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey is a big must-do for me. Typically, this is the first ride I do after I enter the park. Now we arrive at the top spot, Jurassic World: The Ride. The only water ride at Universal Studios Hollywood is clearly the park's best. While I still really enjoyed it when it was originally Jurassic Park: The Ride, the Jurassic World retheme made it even better. And the ride vehicles as well as the area around the ride look a lot better. Fortunately, this was a simple retheme, and they kept the original track as well as keeping a scene from the old Jurassic Park ride. The only screen scene on the ride with the Mosasaurus is very convincing, using the parallax effect and practical water effects. The best part of the overhaul is the finale scene, the T-Rex Kingdom jungle, filled with dinosaur animatronics lunging towards you, including Blue the Raptor. And they kept the 2 T-Rex animatronics before the drop. In 2021, Universal made some very needed and nice updates that really put this ride at the top spot. They brought the fighting little dinosaurs back from the old Jurassic Park ride into its old spot. And they also brought in a Crash Gyrosphere. But they finally added a gigantic Indominus Rex animatronic in the finale, which really steals the show. This is literally the best retheme of any ride I've ever seen a theme park do. The queue isn't quite as good as Hogwarts, Secret Life of Pets, or Mario Kart, but looks better and more jungly than it did before. Overall, this is the park's best ride and a must-do if you can get on the ride. It's totally worth the long lines.
Thank you all for watching our Universal Studios Hollywood Top 10 Rides video today. If you like this video, please be sure to press the like button and the bell icon below the video. Also, please be sure to support this channel at patreon.com/maxickkingdom. The link is also in the video's description. You are all so wonderful and have a maxical rest of your day.